Today I'm going to share finishing my French Bulldogs in the chair, but first let's head on down to the beach. Alright, let's head on down. We probably won't sit down here long today, but as I saw a few of you were happy to see that I shared the beach a bit, I thought maybe we could sit here a moment. And actually you'll see that since the last time, the sailboat, which usually sits to the right over there, is now gone because those neighbors have taken their boat out for the season and they will be heading back to, they are just summer residents, they will be heading back to Indiana. And then the people who have the beautiful house across the way, the herons have also taken in their boat and they've closed up their boathouse doors. I'm not sure if you can see that over there. But let's walk down this part of our beach. So you can see we have some more big boulders. Actually, if you look back, all these large boulders and the path down here, which you can't see over there because it's overgrown, but these giant boulders were all brought in by a grandfather back about 60 years ago. And it was beautifully laid out, and as you came down there was a beautiful set of stairs. But after Hurricane Bob in the 80s, the waters breached it and knocked all the boulders askew. And but it's still a pretty good retaining wall. And down here is also part of the retaining wall. This divides both sides of this part of the beach is ours, and then it becomes our neighbors as it gets to the dock over there. But these giant boulders here are part of a break wall that was built at the same time, and that was to keep the water from breaching the railroad tracks, which are ours but are now quite rusty. And these were put here because this was how the sailboats, the family sailboats, were brought into the boathouse, which is the old building I showed up on the top up that you can just see a corner of up there. That boathouse is going to be a big project one day, and I would love to. I mean, it's large enough in its own right to become a studio as well as a house or an apartment or anything. And in fact, we used to stay in it back in the early 2000s when we lived in the city. We would come and the grandparents were still alive in the main house, so we stayed in the boathouse in the apartment, but it's seen better days. There go the geese across the waters, looking for some foodstuffs to fatten up for autumn. So maybe if I set this here, I'm not sure if I can set it there, can't really tell. It's quite bright, so I can't tell how I'm going to show up or not. Maybe I should set it here. This way, you can see the sea behind. Let me see if I can get here. Am I showing up? It's hard to tell. In fact, back when we used to stay in the boathouse, this little spot here, we used to keep a little fire pit down here, and we used to have our fires here. Since then, of course, we now have our fires closer to the chair I sat with you in the last vlog. So, but yes, if you love rocks and boulders, as I do, then this beach is a place for you. And the amount of stone on this beach, which used to be a sandy beach, but again, because of break walls and things being sort of left to go because money ran out, the rocks returned. But they're great for taking up into the garden and making rock walls. So, but I just thought I would share another little spot on the beach with you, just to share the beach with you, because this is, I did seem to get some positive response to people wanting to have the beach shared. So, and this is part of my life, part of an artist here living quietly in the sea, so why not share it? All right, so for today's vlog, I am going to share with you the rest of, I'm going to try to get the video capture to work out of the rest of the French Bulldogs in the chair that I showed you the sketch of last time, that we used the Gelli print from the previous week as the background, and then I've been digitally making the sketch to put on front of it. So I will try to finish the rest of that today. I've been working on it over the weekend and capture that so you can share. So let's get on with the video. Let's head back inside and I will share the finished drawing. Here we have the sketch I shared last week of the bulldogs, French bulldogs in the chair. And here I'm going over the sketch with digital ink. And this stage I like to, one of the advantages of being able to draw digitally now, even though I basically use the same techniques I use in a traditional drawing, is having multiple layers is such a godsend. So here you can see I'm going over the sketch of the dogs in ink, and I'm going over the rough sketch of the chair. I'm using a dark green to outline here because I wanted the dogs to be the highlighted character, so they are outlined in black, whilst the chair is outlined in a deep green because the chair is going to be colored in green. And here you can see I'm doing the underpainting, which is just basically me filling in the coats of pastel. I want to have digital pastel as the base to build up more detail on the dogs and the chair. And actually I'm only going to be doing just a touch of detail on the more intricate parts of the chair, and a lot of it is going to remain more just flat colored. But now for the dogs, I will start undercoating those. And because I wanted the background, as you remember the Gelli Plate in the golds and lilacs that we used, I wanted to mimic the lilac-y and blue tones for the French Bulldog. Although I do love to do my animals in a more realistic look, I like to really play with color because I love color and I love color combinations. So obviously I don't do realistic coloring for the dogs because I feel like it sort of heightens the joy of it for me at least, and even for the viewer hopefully. So here after the undercoating is done, this is a new layer, and I'm going in and placing the colors with digital oil pastel and just building up the highs and the lows, the darks and the lights. And then I do the same around the edges of the chair and any other little details I'd like to do like that. And then by just building up those probably 3 or 4 layers on top of the undercoating, that's how I build up the look of the dogs. And then I'm just filling in. I wanted to bring the purple of the one dog down onto the floor. And then I like to play with shadow in a fun way, so I did a bluey purple shadow with a pastel, and then we sign that. And then by finishing that, we can shut the background or turn the background back on so we can see how it looks. And if you'll recall, we made this Gelli Plate with the flowers from the garden and the wood grain, and this way we've made our animals and chairs with the background from the Gelli Plate. So I hope you enjoyed the process of that, and I thought it was kind of fun that we were able to take my Gelli Plate print from last week and through my digital artwork make a new feature in my series I've made in the past, Animals and Chairs and Dogs and Chairs, and I'm going to make sure I put this up on my website so that it will be available on prints or as things like t-shirts or booklets, things like that. So if you're interested in that, I will put the link at the end. And let's finish up today's video. Well, that's going to do it for us today here at An Artist's Life on this fun Wednesday, and I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. We did some fun artwork. Okay everyone, I know I just ended the video, but in the interim of doing that and editing, the post showed up and I'm so excited. I'm going to share the whole thing with you on Friday's video before I send it out. But besides ordering the print of the cover for Far Too Many Ians that I shared with you to send to LaLande, I also thought I'd order another thing as well, and that is, it came in, it looks pretty cute, this. I'm so excited. It's just a blank lined journal, but I wanted to order the journal with the cover on because I thought it would be fun to see it as like a book cover, even though it's technically not a book. But look how adorable I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. I'm not sure if it's showing up. So this is the cover that I shared with you, and here it is cutely printed on this lined journal, which of course I'm also sending as part of the gift that I'll send. So I'll share more of that with you on Friday's video because I also have the print, which turned out pretty good. I want to share it with you though. So all right, so Far Too Many Ians. Let's hope Stephanie and LaLande love it. All right, that's really going to do it for us today. I will see you on Friday, and we will probably be doing some Gelli Plate things and possibly an arrangement. I haven't decided if it will be Floral Friday or not. So I will see you on Friday, and remember to stay creative. Cheers! Far too many Ians. Yay!